was back in '68, so I used cloud surface to recall some of this. Anyway, so we were on Hollywood Boulevard, and then Prabhupada was insisting that we get a place to have kirtan and so he could give lectures. And we ended up in several garages. People, we'd go on kirtan and we'd talk to people and we'd get an invitation to a garage or someplace. So we then set up the garage with all of the ISKCON and the flowers and garlands and musicians, everything to make it presentable. And then the youngest, I wish I could remember names. Anyway, this one devotee, the garage door would open and they blow on the conch shell as Prabhupada would enter. The garage door would open and Srila Prabhupada entered the garage to give his lecture with the conch shell blowing 3 times. It was really quite beautiful and very simple. So then there were several episodes of trying to move into temples. We went to Watts for a while. That's where we picked up Dinanath. Watts was a temple near riotous Los Angeles. And I had made a Krishna baby that because I had been making puppets and stuff with Vishnu Jana's help, and then I ended up making a Krishna baby doll. And that was then Prabhupada insisted that someone stay home each night and take care of the Krishna, baby Krishna, instead of going out on kirtan. There was like one house out in front on the street, and then there's a little mother-in-law house in the back where I stayed, and that's where where I take care of where I made the doll Krishna, the deity. It was never installed, but Prabhupada had somebody stay home and brought him a feeding milk every night. And Vishnu Jana would often ask for that service. He would sing rock Devi Krishna and sing to him regularly. Then we finally moved from there to a place where there wasn't room for me, so I had to sleep in the van while the brahmacharis slept in the house. I slept in the van. They'd come down and check on me, sure I was okay, but this is still me traveling with 11 brahmacharis and myself from Seattle throughout, with no temple to go to. And then eventually we got La Cienega. And La Cienega is this beautiful church. It was, I don't know what kind of Lutheran or Methodist, some kind of a church building on a busy street. And that's when Bhavananda joined. And he was an interior designer, so he decorated the temple very beautifully. Silk hangings coming off of the ceiling, carpets. And then Srila Prabhupada had me make dioramas of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, and 10 other episodes of his appearance. And then Devahuti did the curtains. Vishnu Jana made the boxes, and then I made the dolls and dressed them. And an artist those days, a man artist, he did the backdrops. What would his name be? Not Bharadwaj. Rich? Oh, sorry, I can't remember the name. So anyway, each one of us did an aspect of these. Anyway, I made the dolls and dressed them, and then we would bring them out in front of Prabhupada and the deities and tell the story of what was happening, and we had these installed along the temple walls. And then Vishnu Jana and I made some 3-foot-high deities, puppets. Sorry, I'm trying to talk fast. I have too many pastimes to get them all in. And I don't remember everyone's name anymore. Anyway, the puppets with their arms like this and their heads would go out like this. And They were quite crude. The very first one was Hiranyakasipu and Prahlad, and Vishnu would tell the story, and Kausalya would act, but she would be behind the stage with Vishnu. They were both very outspoken, dramatic people. I was the one behind the scenes that would run and fix things and get sews up something or stitch it and repair it. And that carried on until we had huge Rathi Yatra festivals where I was making costumes and masks and everything, and still everybody else on the show, and I was in the background making sure everything didn't fall apart or repair it if it did. But that always seemed to be instead of being in the kitchen, I was helping with the festivals in those ways. And that was all throughout India as well. There was one festival after another. And the way I got to India, Prabhupada, I was in LA. We went from Watsika to La Cienega. Well, other way around. We went from La Cienega to Watsika. And one day Srila Prabhupada was coming back from his walk, and I was coming back from the laundromat just down the alley. And Prabhupada had several devotees with him, and we were kind of like meeting each other like this as I was coming. And Prabhupada said, "Oh, Srimati, when are you coming to India?" And I go, "Oh, I get to go to India." Well, several married devotees, couples had already left, and I wasn't married, and so I didn't really know my place to think that I could go, I guess. I don't know. I was just totally suddenly very excited about going, and I started this candy business and got it going, and they sold the business and got to India. And then even while there, that was pretty much my service was to make Vyasa sons and the deities for Prabhupada. The preacher's deities. Went to Jaipur, and Prabhupada had Rukmini in New York as I was coming through. Rukmini was the head pujari. She gave me a long shopping list for going to India, and it was the first set of deities I bought was for the Jaipur festival that Kausalya and I put on. You saw some pictures of Jaipur, but it says some unknown city in India. Well, this, I am quite sure, is the Jaipur festival. It was huge. Just two of us, Kausalya and myself, went to Jaipur, quite, unmarried and a little rebellious. And we, Kausalya could sing really well and play the harmonium, and I could play the kartals and sing along with it. And then we would attract a lot of life members. And we attracted so many life members and made so much money that we were able to get a huge number of devotees and Prabhupada round-trip tickets to come to Jaipur and set them up in the living quarters, had a huge parade with painted elephants and palanquins, and the deities was at the Radha Govinda temple in Jaipur. And behind the temple, there's this huge grounds, and here, the deities face this way, and the Raj and Rani's palace is over here, across from the deities, but like a pasture between, football field between, but the old king and queen's palace was here, and then behind was this. So we had this big Pandal program there, and I bought the deities for the New York temple, but first set them up in Jaipur for that festival. And then there's one of the Goswami's name was Govinda. Jiva Goswami. And there was a small little round temple place that this was his at one point. And we had that for Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada stayed in there at least for our talks. He actually lived with one of the life members. So one time after one of the evening ceremonies, Kausalya and I came in there with the other devotees of Prabhupada, thanked us for personally being able to serve Lord Chaitanya in this way. We were just simply two women with no husbands, and we were able to accomplish such a wonderful